From the streets of Chicago to the headlines of the world, you are now tuned into the rhythm of real thought. This is the Daily Mix. 15 minutes of uncut perspective starts right now.
Hey, welcome, y'all, to the Daily Mix. I'm your host, Omari Jahi. Today, we're adding to the mix, y'all, a topic that's very dear to my heart: rebuilding the Black family. You know, I've been on my soapbox about this for I don't know how long, because, you know, we got to stop this separation stuff, y'all. This male bashing, female bashing crap. Look, that doesn't benefit none of us. Our family, our race, nobody. We're not benefiting from that crap. So we need to cut that crap out. I've seen the great inventions and innovators that Black men and women have contributed to the world. And I can't help but wonder what our greatness would look like if we put our talents and our gifts and all that together. But it's very clear to me now why the Black nuclear family structure had to be destroyed for the female head of household, or this 2 adults and a child household. That's the new thing now. But it's my opinion that the fear of the nuclear family was the Black male. If it was the Black female, our single head of households would be Black men dominating. There'd be households full of single Black men running ahead as heads of household. But it's not. Now, this is not a bash on Black women or anything like that. Black women are the only reason the Black race is still around. If it wasn't for Black women holding this shit together, I'm telling you. And I applaud Black women, because, again, if it wasn't for them holding it together, we'd be done for by now, almost like the Native Americans. Our Black women are brilliant and great. But when it comes to social and economic guerrilla warfare, the Black male is the most feared, because he know how to put that thing. Well, no, we ain't gonna go there. But I'm just saying, he's the most feared. But look, let's take a look at some of the things that we have, as individual Black men and Black women, have done over the years. Let's take a look. I got a video. Let's check it out.
Tonight were all made possible by 5 women who were systematically erased from your textbooks. What if I told you that the hidden figures of NASA were just the beginning? There is a secret lineage of brilliance that didn't just participate in history, they engineered the reality you live in today. According to records from the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the way we survive winter changed forever on December 23, 1919. That was the day Alice H. Parker, a woman from Morristown, New Jersey, filed a patent for a revolutionary gas heating furnace. Before her invention, people relied on wood and coal, which were dangerous and inefficient. Parker's design was the first to use natural gas and a system of ducts to heat an entire house. If you enjoy central heating today, you are living inside the mind of Alice H. Parker. But engineering isn't just about what's on the ground, it's about what's in the sky. According to the NASA History Office, Mary Jackson had to petition the city of Hampton in 1958 just to be allowed into a whites-only classroom so she could complete the courses required to be promoted from mathematician to engineer. She didn't just pass, she became NASA's first Black female engineer. Research into the Langley Research Center archives reveals that Jackson became the world's leading expert on the behavior of air around planes at supersonic speeds. Every time a jet breaks the sound barrier, it is following the math Mary Jackson mastered in a segregated classroom.
Okay, y'all. So as you can see, black women contributed a hell of a lot to not only the black race still being in existence, but in society as a whole. But now we already see every February of every year, we see all these things, George Washington Carver, all the black men that did great things in society and in inventions and things of that nature. So all these great minds, black men, great-minded black women. After looking at this, I think about the power and the force that black people demand in the 60s, before welfare and ADC and Section 8 and all that crept into the black community. Before we were strapped into these programs, we depended on each other's gifts and talents to make a way out of no way. And my wife, this reminds me, my wife is always telling me that I need to go back to school to become licensed and certified in the God-given gift that God has given me. Like, I'm a graphic designer. I'm a sound engineer. I'm a web designer, etc. I do a lot of different things, But my mindset is like this. Why should I have to go to school to get a degree or certified to do something that I'm very well versed in without the degree or that certification? That's insanity to me. Back in the day, black men and women, through word of mouth, were offering their services as auto mechanics, beauticians, barbers, TV, home appliance repair guys and things of that nature, and many other odd jobs and services, and there was no certification involved with those guys. They didn't go to school to learn how to do that. They taught themselves how to do that. The need for certification or degrees came in when those black men and women could take care of their families doing so, using those skills without certifications. So today, we have black men who can provide various services, and women to our communities. But the fear of being scammed or receiving bad services has put us in a position where we look for certifications and degrees in order to feel safe, and our money not being spent awry. But back in the day, our certifications was the recommendation from a friend or a family member who had used their services and held no complaints. They didn't have any complaints about the individual or the person. So it seems to me that when we were recommending our services to each other, that we were getting our services from people that looked like us. We were getting good service because you ain't gonna recommend nobody that was doing some whack work, So why can't we go back to that today? What's the problem? Well, in my opinion, if we went back to word of mouth recommendations, maybe we can create maybe something like a social media page called the Black Pages. I remember there used to be a publication called the Black Pages, where they had where if you want to know of some black businesses and things of that nature that were doing things, service or providing services in the community or whatever, they would circulate these black pages like they used to, they used to circulate the white pages or the yellow pages. They'll just come by in the neighborhood and just dump these books, big old thick books on your porch, right? Or in your vestibule, in your building. And you would take them upstairs and you would go through them if you was looking for a beautician, if you was looking for carpet cleaning or whatever. You would go through those pages. Not just imagine, since we in the internet social media age, that if somebody created, and I'm not just gonna say somebody, because whenever we say somebody, that means nobody, but if one of us, and if y'all don't do it, I'm gonna do it at some point, create a page, a group page called Black Pages, where if you have a business or if you have a service that you provide, you can join that page and add your service to the service list or something to that effect. Where if people are looking for something, they go on Facebook, they go on Instagram or whatever, and they'll look in the category for that service and they can find you. You know, a Black person that does hair, a Black person that's a homemaker or something to that effect, and cut out the middleman. You know, I think it's incredible for us to be able to do something like that, where black men and women who provide credible service can be hired for their services. Now that's something to think about, you know. Well, let's see, what's my time? We got about 4 more minutes. So in this last 4 minutes, I have one more video I want to share with you guys. It's a short one, it's about a minute. And it's just showing some other things that Black people did, you know, what we created and things of that nature, our greatness, I'll put it like that. So check out this video for 1 minute, and then we're going to close out and get out of here. All right.
Everything you think you know about who invented what is a lie. That light bulb you're probably sitting under right now? Thomas Edison gets the credit, but it was Lewis Latimer, a Black man, who created the carbon filament that made it actually work. Edison's version burned out in 15 minutes. Latimer's lasted for hours and made commercial lighting possible. Your home security system? Marie Van Britton Brown, a Black nurse from Queens, invented it in 1960.
Home security, y'all. A Black
filed
woman.
the patent that every modern security company still references today. Traffic lights keeping you safe? Garrett
Wait, we
Morgan,
knew about Lewis
son
Latimer.
of former slaves,
Garrett
invented
Morgan,
the 3-position signal
the light
in
bulb and all that. Yeah, we knew about those.
1923. He sold the patent to General Electric for $40,000. That ironing board in your closet? Sarah Boone, born into slavery, patented the modern design in 1892. She was one of the first Black women to ever receive a patent. Your refrigerated food delivery? Frederick McKinley Jones invented mobile refrigeration in 1940.
All right, this
His
getting on
company
my nerves, y'all. My internet is
became
horrible.
Thermo King, worth billions today. Here's the thing that'll blow your mind. Black inventors were systematically erased from history. Some had to hire white actors to sell their inventions because customers wouldn't buy from Black inventors. Others had their bosses take credit entirely. This isn't just
and that's
history.
the majority of them.
This is theft
Stolen,
on an industrial
yes.
scale. Follow for more buried history.
Okay, y'all. We see what's going on, but now y'all see the greatness of Black men and women, and now we can also see why they don't want us to be together, why they keep us separated, and why they create these differences. Remember, a while back I was doing a episode on the Willie Lynch thing, you know, and it was going into detail on how they had a program or a system in which to program Black people to think a certain way and to act a certain way. And, you know, we're still in it in 2026. And I'm saying we need to start thinking about this thing. If we can do all these great things individually, what could we do if we were together? That's a great question. But, you know, I want to thank everybody for being on here and being in the mix today. We will be back tomorrow at 12 noon with another mix, y'all. But until then, I'm your host, Omari Jahi, and this is the Daily Mix. Peace out.
Take care of your mind, take care of your health.
And we'll be back in the mix tomorrow at 12 noon. Till then, peace out.